What's up? How you doing? This is Arash from Omid Academy, and today I want to show you the GoPro 11, the brand new GoPro 11, and how to get the best settings for filming cinematic video. Yes, I use the C word, cinematic. So how do we get that? I usually, for weddings, I at least like to shoot in 60p to get some slow motion that we can slow down. We just shot a wedding in Missouri where we shot on an airplane. Shout out to Afshin and Janie who flew us in their private plane, and it was kind of scary, but it was also a pretty exciting experience going on one of these small planes that feel like you can crash at any moment, but luckily we didn't crash. That's why I'm here. I did take my GoPro both on the plane and to the venue, and I want to show you some of that footage. But I also want to show you what settings we use. So with the GoPro 11 and I think the 10, you can shoot in 5K 60p. So I would choose the 5.3K option at 60p, and then you go to your lens. And for lens, I would recommend using the wide or the super view. The super view is 16 millimeter, while the wide is 16 to 34. And the reason for that is if you go any wider, it's going to be distorted on the corners. And I don't like that fisheye distorted look where you know it's a GoPro. And I don't like to use the linear one because it punches in too much, in my opinion. And you're shooting in 5.3K, so you can already punch in, crop in while you're editing your footage, so no reason to do that. So we shot everything in wide, 16 to 34, and for hyper smooth, we used boost, which was the maximum stabilization that it offers. I didn't go to auto, I just chose boost because we knew we wanted the stabilization, and we didn't need to go any lower because I wanted to make sure it was as smooth as possible. The next one, if you go into your Pro Tune setting, which enables you to get the professional quality out of your GoPro, I would choose 10-bit and turn that on. That's a brand new feature for the 11, and it lets you now shoot in the flat color profile, so you have more room to color grade. Previously, in previous GoPros, I would always shoot in the GoPro color because it only shot in 8-bit, and with 8-bit, you don't have that room to color grade. So now that you have 10-bit, I definitely turn that on, and I would go to, for color, you can choose natural or you can choose flat. There's no reason to go to vibrant though. So I would go to natural or flat. White balance, I keep at auto. Bitrate, definitely choose high. There's no reason not to. Shutter, keep at auto. And then for ISO, the minimum is at 100 and the max is at 800, because if I go into the shadows, I don't want it to kind of go above that. I want to keep it there. If I'm indoor, I would go to 1600, but for outdoors, I would keep it 100 to 200, 100 to 800. But if I'm in direct sunlight, which, you know, if we're outside and we know we're only shooting in direct sunlight, I would also turn on the exposure, the EV comp, to -1 or -0.5, depending on what time of day it is. But if it's in the middle of the day, I would bring that down to -1. For wind, I have auto. For raw audio, I would choose either low or I would choose medium. The reason for that is we usually don't use the audio from the GoPro, so it's kind of not necessary to go too high. But if you feel like you do want to use the audio, definitely do that. So that's pretty much it to get good cinematic video. And by cinematic, I mean that the highlights are not going to be completely blown out in all circumstances like previous GoPros. It's actually usable. As you can see from the footage, hopefully playing that while you're listening to this, I mean, you should be because it's in my control. you can see that it actually looks better than all previous GoPros, as it should, but it's almost on the level of DSLRs. If you're shooting with a Sony a6400, a6000, if you're shooting with 5D Mark III, I'd say it's comparable. I don't think our clients are going to be able to tell once this is color graded that this was from a GoPro, but I might be wrong. I doubt I am, but I think this is going to cut in amazingly. And if we shoot outdoor, we're definitely going to utilize the GoPro 11 more. For indoor, it's still not good enough for low light, so I would not use this indoor. But for outdoor, definitely looks great, works great. And if you need that extra slow-mo, go to 4K 120. But I wouldn't really shoot in the 2K or the 1080 to 2.7K. It's just not. There's no reason to do that with the GoPro. If your computer can't handle it, I understand. Shooting 1080, shooting 2.7K. But I would rather shoot in 4K or 5.3K to maximize it. And pretty much all we've done for the wedding was 5.3K. So check out the footage. Let me know what you think. If you hate it, that's great. Just write some horrible comments underneath. Otherwise, if you have any other questions, let me know. I actually just switched from Android to iPhone, got the new iPhone 14 Pro Max. So that's going to be the next video on how to utilize that for filmmaking. This was Arash over at Omid Academy. See you guys soon.